know that when your camera comes and it's brand new, you pull it out of the box, there are settings that you want to change, like right from the get-go.
Yeah, when you open a Sony camera, one of the best things about it is that you have options to customize it.
Just because it's brand new doesn't mean it doesn't need to be tuned, kind of like tuning a guitar.
I throw out the strap that comes with the camera, first thing.
Well, first I check that the battery's charged. It's so frustrating when you get a camera and you can't take a picture. But the two settings I always change, very straightforward. I set the date and the time because I want that metadata to be right. And then the next one is I go straight to RAW.
Right out of the box on a new camera, I gotta change it to RAW.
First thing I'm setting is make sure that it's on RAW.
I turn it to RAW. I don't shoot JPEG generally.
The first thing I do when I get a camera is make sure that it's set for RAW, because I only shoot in RAW.
I just want the quality.
I kind of take it out of the full auto, set it to RAW.
I don't wanna ever be caught not being able to pull back the highlights or open up the shadows or a little bit. So very first thing I always do is I make sure that I change it and I set it to RAW.
Date and time, RAW, and I'm ready to go.
I turn it straight to manual because I don't shoot on anything else.
I don't want an automatic ISO. I don't want automatic anything. I want to be the pilot of this.
I'm gonna put the metering mode to spot metering. I'm always in spot metering mode.
I like to put my images in standard or neutral profile.
I change the color so it's from sRGB to Adobe RGB because that gives me, I think, 15% more richness and diversity in the color spectrum.
I shoot cloudy white balance a lot. Reason being is that my work is mostly seascapes or mostly landscapes around water. And water tends to kind of trip up the white balance a little bit in many ways.
I typically do autofocus single, so it's just like focus and hold.
I'm always in center focus. I love to focus in the center and reframe. That's, for me, really a fast way to do composition with kids.
I turn off the audio signals. I hate hearing sounds when I'm taking photos.
I turn off that horrible little beeper that makes a beeping sound every time you take a photo.
And then I also turn off auto review. It really bothers me. I just want to be able to take the photos.
When you have this brand new camera, the other thing is you have to make sure that your custom buttons are set up properly. So for me, I typically hold the camera and I'll take a few shots and I will try to figure out and see what features do I use the most that I need to have very fast access to that maybe I don't have fast access to out of the box.
For me, these little custom settings are very important because they make my work in the field a lot easier.
For me, I would set something like the custom button 1, set that to ISO. I might set the second one to be focus magnifier, which is something that helps a lot for video.
I get in and I customize my buttons.
I'm very particular about my settings. So my focus is always in my back button.
I will assign my IAF, I'll assign my back focus, autofocus to the AEL button.
I put the focus on the back button. I do not like focusing on the front button. This way I separate focus and composition. I don't have to hold the button halfway down.
And also using a lot of water housings, you need the back button autofocus. You don't have a double trigger on the front. You don't have the 2-stage triggers.
I will also go through and I'll set up the center button for focus standard so that I can move the focus point around the frame.
I set my video settings to 4K and 24p. Now I know when I put it on my shelf, when I pick it up, it's how I want it to be.
For my video, I don't use that little red thing. I usually put it in one of the custom setting buttons. Mine is C2, and then I don't like having my camera in automatic viewfinder LCD monitor. So I do that manually, and that's my custom one.
Then depending on the shoot, there might be other settings, you know, the back button focus, the high-speed shooting, the eye focus, etc.
You know, one of the things I love about the Sony cameras is that function set. I'll put my favorite go-to things on the function button. I have the white balance, the ISO, picture quality 4K or not.
I mean, the most amazing thing is that you have that option to customize and to have all your different bodies, all your different cameras have the same settings. So it doesn't matter what you're doing, you always have things be consistent.